Hey Internet, thanks for watching another episode of LBEB Kitchen. Today we're going to work on a little bit of an advanced cooking technique known as sous vide. It's French, of course. And what we're going to do is basically use very simple tools to make a perfect steak that's not going to involve cooking on a grill or with direct heat. So all you're going to need is an instant thermometer, your steak of choice, and finally a Playmate cooler with insulation. So get one that's really insulated. And what sous vide is basically going to do is we're going to take this steak, put it in this cooler which is filled with water that's going to be at the same temperature that a medium rare steak should be at. So if a medium rare steak is supposed to be about 135 degrees, 130 degrees, we will fill this cooler with water that's about 3 degrees hotter than that to compensate for the cold meat we're putting in. And then you just leave it. You leave it for 45 minutes, you leave it up to a day. It'll never get overcooked or burnt or anything because it's going to be cooking at the temperature that we would want the middle of our meat to be at before we eat it. So this is what you have to do. It's very simple. So as I mentioned earlier today, we're going to be interviewing Kenji from Serious Eats. He's got a nice scientific background and he's a great food chef, lots of cool new techniques. So this is actually a technique that I picked up from his book, Serious Eats. Now I've got a pot of water kind of heating up on the stove here. It's not boiling, I just got it over a low temperature because I really want to make sure I get my water at about 134 degrees before I put it in the cooler. I want the steak to be 130 and it will cool down a little bit because the meat is colder than the water. So let's check this. So it's a little too hot right now. Once this gets down to about 134, I'm going to throw it in the cooler. Alright, well I think our water's perfect now. Let's just make sure. Close enough to perfect. So as you can guess, step 2 will involve putting the water inside the cooler. Make sure you have enough so the steak can submerge. Next, all you're going to do is take your steak. I got mine close to vacuum sealed, as much as I can get without a vacuum sealer. And you're going to want to make sure the steak is fully submerged. You can put this up on the lip to make sure the bag doesn't get stuck in the water. And what you're going to do, you can see that a little bit better here. What you're going to do then is you're going to close the lid because the lid has to be closed to maintain the insulation. A cooler can maintain coldness the same way it does heat by trapping the moisture inside, or the temperature inside between the air pockets in the walls. So get your steak, we're going to just close this up. We'll come back in 45 minutes and it should be perfect. Alright, well it's been about 45 minutes. Let's check that water and let's check the steak. So let's see if the temperature stayed about the same. So we're looking for around 130. Very good. So an hour in there, temperature dropped 1 degrees. So here's the steak. What I'm going to do is I'm going to put it on the grill for about 2 minutes just to get a little crust on the outside, but other than that, this is a perfectly cooked medium rare steak. Okay, so this steak was cooked in hot water, 130 degrees for 45 minutes. Then I put it on the grill for 1.5 minutes per side just to get a little char on it. So let's cut it in half and see how it looks. So as you can see, steak looks amazing, especially because it was cooked in water. So in the future, if you have people coming over for steak and you're a little worried about meal timing, what you can do is you can take your meat, put it in the water. If you have guests coming over at 2 o'clock, you can put the steak anywhere from 10 a.m. to noon in. And when they come over, once they're ready to eat, all you have to do is take the steak, grill it for 2 minutes, and then it's ready. So it's a really good way to prepare for serving a lot of people. If meal timing and making sure things are done at the certain right time is something you're worried about, I would suggest doing this. So thanks for watching LBEB Kitchen. Catch you next time.